So how is it that you decided that I will be an entrepreneur eventually and not be, you be your own boss essentially?
No, largely the whole thing driven by a fact that I wanted to make my family very happy. They were very dependent on me. There are a lot of family responsibilities were on my shoulder, being the eldest son. So I had to fulfill those obligations. The one other driving factor was to make the family secure, make the family happy.
But wasn't it more risky to be an entrepreneur rather than having a check coming at the end of the month?
No, but that check wouldn't have enough
Okay.
for those responsibilities.
Mm.
So in a way that I had to do something. I had to jump and then learn to swim. So that's what I did.
Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Unscripted, where we have interesting conversations with interesting people across the spectrum of business and policy. Today, we have somebody with us who has, from humble beginnings, set up a globally recognized logistics conglomerate with multiple listed companies and a total of about $2.5 billion in total top line. Shashi Kiran Shetty of the Allcargo Group. I think for many of us who know the group, they know about how humble and affable Mr. Shetty is. And thank you very much, Mr. Shetty, for speaking to us today in this unscripted conversation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mazumdar, for having me here today.
Thank you.
Really appreciate that.
It's really wonderful to have you with us. I'll start right from the beginning, Mr. Shetty, because humble boy in Karnataka, coming and setting up today what is a well-known conglomerate in these interesting times for the logistics sector. Tell us a little bit about what prompted you, first of all, to move to Mumbai, and how this whole dream, almost like a cinematic, script, you went and saw the port in Mumbai, and that led you to what we see today. So tell us a little bit about these early years.
Yeah. No, first of all, I must say that I was in the right place at the right time. I was young, raring to go. Came to Mumbai city for a livelihood. The only money that I had was some gift that my uncle gave me. Lasted only for 15 days. So, and I fortunate to have my sister living here. I stayed with her for first 1 year, and my brother-in-law has been very supportive, very kind to me. And I got a job. Like you said, I just fell in love with the work that I was doing. I felt myself very fortunate. That's why I say you have to be working hard, sincere, and all that, but also have to be at the right place at the right time. For me, it was really a dream come true because I never been to Mumbai before. Never seen a port, never seen a ship, never met any foreigners during my 21 years of life prior to coming to Mumbai. So all that was fascinating. And then the whole adventure of shipping, shipping, I don't know, we don't quote that word anymore. Shipping by nature is adventurous. Going on the high sea, encountering all sorts of challenges, and then coming to a third world country or any country for that matter, and remaining in that country for few weeks or whatever that takes to discharge and load the cargo, and then people go out and explore the city. So it's a really a fairy tale in that sense. I think so. I just fell in love and I just started working hard and working very smartly. After 4 years, I got an opportunity to start my own company with a capital of just 25,000 rupees.
Yes.
I had a partner for about 2 years. We worked together for 2 years. We worked very hard. Then we decided to separate because things didn't really work out the way we wanted it. So he went on his own and I went on my own. No dispute. We're still friends. So that's how I then continued my journey. And then after 10 years of setting up the transportation business, which was handling cargo and containers in the port of Mumbai, I wanted to always get into the ship owning business or ship agency, something related to shipping. So that is how I started the very humble way again with one office in Wadi Bandar area. And that business was primarily consolidation of LCL cargo, which the shipping lines used to do. And we started in parallel because LCL customers were not getting the kind of a service that they deserved. And I saw that as an opportunity. So my transportation business financed this new entity. And then that's how I started the Allcargo in 1993. And business took off very nicely within a short period of time. I'm making it all very short because there a lot goes to that, right? I had the privilege of having some very ambitious, high quality young people also joined me, looking at my inspiration and the way I built up my transportation business. They believed in me, and that is how we set up the company. And soon, within 3 years, we set up about 20 offices around the country.
You actually just, if I may interject here,
sure.
you started very young, right?
Yes.
You came with this, you were this boy with dreams, and
Yeah.
you came to the port,
Yeah.
and you saw shipping, and you wanted the spirit of adventure within you.
Yes.
What made you decide that I will not just continue with a 9 to 5 job or a job, and I will, because that's a huge risk.
Yes.
Many people have stumbled and fallen
Yes.
with trying to bite the entrepreneurial bug. I mean, a bit being bitten by the entrepreneurial bug.
Yeah.
So how is it that you decided that I will be an entrepreneur eventually and not be, you be your own boss, essentially?
No, largely the whole thing driven by a fact that I wanted to make my family very happy. They were very dependent on me. There are a lot of family responsibilities were on my shoulder, being the eldest son. So I had to fulfill those obligations. The one of the driving factor was to make the family secure, make the family happy.
But wasn't it more risky to be an entrepreneur rather than having a check coming at the end of the month?
No, but that check wouldn't have enough for those responsibilities. So in a way that I had to do something. I had to jump and then learn to swim. So that's what I did. So I've been always a very courageous person. And I always I'm a big risk taker. I don't take extreme risks like jumping from a mountain and all that stuff. I don't do or climbing the mountain, but I do very measured and calculated risks. And I thought that, and I had a lot of friends in the industry and who had earned a goodwill, and I saw clearly this is an opportunity. But no opportunity falls on your lap, and just like that, right? You have to engage the industry, you have to engage with the people, you have to find out what is the niche, because I can't compete with the big players who are already established. So this niche just happened. And also 93, if you recall, the liberalization also had started.
Yes.
So in that sense, there was a lot of my opening up was happening.
So to use a shipping phrase, that was the wave you wanted to ride.
Wave I wanted to ride. Yeah, absolutely. So that's how it all went. And after Allcargo got established in about 20 different cities in the country, then I started thinking what next. And then came the opportunity of starting the container freight station, which is a adjacency to our NCL consolidation business. So, but it was a very expensive affair to build a container freight station. First of all, there was no land. You had to all land around the port in JNPT was kind of allotted to CIDCO. And CIDCO, it was not easy to get a land, and they used to take their own time to come with the tender, and then you participate in the tender, do a highest bidding for the land, and that economics and that patience I didn't have. So what I did is I looked at land which is outside the CIDCO limit, which was basically 100,000 acres of farmland, and nobody went there before.
Correct.
So then I went into that area and bought the first land parcel of about 10 acres.
Which itself again was a risk.
Which was a big risk, yeah. So, and customers had to come there because there is no direct, immediate, good connectivity. There was connectivity, but it's not a good connectivity. So anyway, so we took the risk, built off a CFS, and that became a very successful venture and very profitable business. So that laid the foundation for my business very well. So, then after that success, we started building more CFSs outside JNPT. We went to Chennai, we went to Mundra, we went to Dadri, then went to Kolkata. So we built, very similar facilities. But whatever we built it world class. Earlier, if you look at the container freight stations operated by the operators, were not really in a good shape, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get into the CFS business, because
You
we were
wanted to
not
add
getting
the
served
quality.
well. Yeah, we were not getting served well, and the quality was a challenge. So that's again became a very successful business. So now I have three companies: one running the transportation business in the port of Mumbai, and then we have the all cargo LCL consolidation business, which was all India, and then built the CFS business, which is again all India. So by 2003, in 10 years, we've been able to do all this. So then we went into
Then
looking.
there was an acquisition. There was a big acquisition also.
Then
Tell us a little bit about the acquisition.
Sure. So the company was generating enough cash flow. We were in a good state. Then what happened was, which I have narrated many times, that the our partner, which is a Belgian company, who was actually handling all our LCL containers, which we shipped out of India to Europe, to Asia, Middle East, and Latin America, and also to the US. So they were already a global company with their own offices, or some places they have strong collaborators or franchisees. So, but as far as I am concerned, there was a global network which was available to me through that Belgian company. So what happened was that company was growing very fast, and they also made several mistakes of not only expanding too fast and also getting into other businesses which is completely unrelated. So in the process, they lost a lot of money, and they had a private equity investor in the company who had a right to go up to 51% if they don't meet the required obligations. And they were at the cusp of that. And the promoter of this company, which is EQ Worldwide, he also didn't have any sibling, any succession planning. So he also wanted to exit. So that is how he approached me that can we look at it. And for me, it was also very important because it's a global network for me. The business that I built, I need that network. And so then I decided to take a minority shares in that company. And to take the minority share, we did a private equity approach. And we've been successful to get a very good private equity to take very small percentage in my company. They took 6% of my shares and raised some $12 million and use that money to do a minority acquisition with the rights to go up to majority over the coming years. So that is the kind of agreement. And then I also insisted that I have to have my CFO in that organization.
Because if with this background, you needed to have your own person to clean up the balance sheet.
Clean up the balance sheet, maintain the financial discipline.
Yes.
And then the next whatever that we need to do in terms of tightening the belt or tax obligations and all sorts of things, the CFO's domain, which we all know, right? So I found a very good gentleman who I sent him to Belgium. He lived there for 3 years. He did all the acquisitions, the entire cleaning up. Of course, there's a lot of work still that had to be done. So then he had to come back. So, but we were already on a good track with that. So we had already acquired the 100%. And to finance that, then we went public in 2006. So that's how the whole story continued.
How was the, and this is something I ask startup people also who had gone public. How was the change which you felt from being a private run company where you take all the calls to being a listed entity where then you are subject to a larger body of shareholders in the public market? How was that change, and how did you adjust to that?
Honestly, for me, that was not really a big change because the way I operated my company was with the proper board of directors and with a solid management team. So any major decision that I take, that I always consult with my board members and also my senior people. So in that sense, it's a very consultative approach that I adopted. Of course, then I make a final decision, whatever I feel finally is right. So that way, I was quite in sync with running a public company. And all my books, my accounts were already well audited. We always believed in compliances, believed in making sure that we comply with all the regulations of the country, because I am a very firm believer that anything that you do which is not in line with the law, eventually you get into some kind of a issue.
Yes, invariably.
And particularly when we go public, and no, particularly when I went overseas, right? Then there are so many
Very
different
strict and stringent
stringent conditions that we have to comply. So that way, I didn't really feel much of even the private equity came, they were completely hands off. They had a complete trust. They looked at our board, they looked at our management team, we had regular meetings, and they were satisfied with how we ran the
And
company.
those were early days of private equity.
Very early
in
days. I
India.
was only I was probably 34, 35. So
And the private equity had that trust in you
they
that
had that
they
trust
wanted
in
to
us.
put
Correct.
in a business of this kind.
That's right. Yeah.
So thereafter came the real growth phase.
Right.
Am I right?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
tell us a little more about how you scaled up from that, initial after post public offer.
Yes.
How was the scaling up done?
We had 3 rounds of fundraising after that. We went public. Then Blackstone took 15% of our equity. They came in around 2009, early 2009,
Yeah.
in the middle of the financial crisis.
Yeah.
And then we did a QIP, which was I think in 2012 or something. So so all this money what we raised, we kept on investing in ventures, which eventually created a lot of value. So EQ didn't have offices in China, and they didn't have office in the United States. These are two largest market for us, and we were dependent on the agents, and we wanted to have our own control in these markets. So what we did, we evaluated whether we should build or whether we should buy, because buy was although it was a little more expensive, it was a far less riskier
And
proposition and quicker. And we acquired our agents only, so we convinced them to sell at both the places. And then on the back of that, then we expanded into the other locations in China. China particularly, we acquired an agent in Shanghai, and all the rest of the offices we set up on our own, using that the entire foundation base. In the United States, we already had about 8 offices, like the agent who we acquired. So we didn't have to do much. We actually cut back to 6 offices and realized that we don't need so many offices. So both these markets did quite well for us. So that helped the company to grow, and that needed capital. Then we also introduced full container load and air freight into our business. Since we have a global presence, we have a management team, and we have all the required systems and process. That is something I'll come to. We built a global system working with TCS. It took us almost 10 years to build and implement across the world. So we are the only company who have homegrown system, which is across the world, operating in all our offices, and which is also integrated with Microsoft financial systems.
Okay.
We have a company called ADP, with who we work on our global payroll system. So we have a centralized payroll system. So
yes, because now it's spread across the world.
Exactly.
Multiple countries, multiple offices.
Correct. Correct. And we have a sales force that has been implemented for our sales processes.
Okay.
We have HRMS for managing the human resources systems. So we're highly systems driven, very paranoid about management controls, checks and balances, and always evaluate risk. What risk can affect the business.
Risk, Mr. Shetty, were there some betrayals by partners during the course of your journey? I think there were some questions about a partner who you had, and then that was not really what you wanted.
There are small minor incidents, not really major, because after we went public, when it is largely our own offices, and we had some agents and one acquisition where we wanted to have a partner, and that actually didn't go well. I mean, that is recent. That's about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So that the only acquisition where we failed to get the best value, because we trusted him, and we also did it in the middle of COVID without much of a due diligence.
Okay.
And also what happened was, this particular acquisition we've been chasing to buy them for 7 or 8 years. And finally they agreed. And now I know why they agreed, because COVID time, the margins were high. And we all felt that these margins are not going to go down
Sustain.
as much. So and it was a company where we have our office in Germany, and they were our one of the immediate competitors. So Germany, basically in our business, there are only three major players: ourselves, this company we acquired called Fairtrade, and a company called Sacco. So Sacco is by far a market leader.
Okay.
So we tried very hard to get closer to Sacco, but that didn't really happen because they were very strong. So then we thought that if a number 2 and number 3 come together,
Then it's a good challenge.
it can be a good way to become a very strong player in Germany. The strategy was right, but unfortunately the timing was not right, and the people who are involved in integrating that didn't work very well. So that's one lesson that we learned big time in life.
And also, also knowing when to walk away. I mean, that's very critical part of entrepreneurship, isn't it?
Right, exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
everything does not have to work according to plan, and you need to be prepared.
You know, failure is part of life. You just you fall, you get up and go again.
Absolutely.
You know that you fail again. I mean, I had many setbacks. Mine was.
Yeah.
But this disturb sometimes your peace, but you then
But you're prepared for
get
it. As
back.
a risk taker, I'm sure you take it in your stride.
And also by now you have a whole large family
Yes.
of so many people in
working
the
with
organization. And as a public company, it's also very important that you're always been watched, observed,
Yes,
written about. So you have to behave.
Today, even more so with now you have multiple listed companies,
That's
right?
correct.
I mean, it's a group structure now, Allcargo Group. So tell us a little bit about how this conglomerate structure came about.
Right. So all the acquisitions and all the business diversification, everything we did within the logistic industry.
Right.
I didn't go out of the logistic industry. So every capital, every profit remained in one company, invested from that one company. So, and I also merged my transportation company, which I started in 1983, into Allcargo. So along with that came a lot of equipments. We used to have a lot of trailers, cranes, reach stackers. It was kind of an asset-heavy business. Cranes are used in the ports and at the construction sites and at the project sites. Okay, that's a very different business, asset-heavy business. Then we had the global LCL consolidation business, and another business. They're all different divisions. Each division was headed by different people. So you have the CFS business. And then we had also acquired Gati.
Gati was
for the domestic express business, and we all had also incubated a contract logistics business. So about 5 different businesses, all sitting under one company. So, and we were a public company, and we've been advised by multiple people, multiple banks, multiple investors, our internal people, that if we keep everything under one entity, of course there is an advantage of that. Your cash flow can be used for different businesses because they're all in the same company. But what was happening is 2 things. One is the investors, they do not know your company. What are they investing in? Are they investing in asset light business? Are they investing in asset heavy business? Are they investing in India business? Are they investing in international business? So there was a lot of confusion. So in the process, what used to happen is that we used to get the lowest end of the stick in terms of valuation.
And it's not focused. Therefore, if I want to invest in one part of the business, I don't need to invest in the others.
You cannot, right? So you may like my international business.
Yes.
But when you buy Allcargo, you get all the other business also, which you may not like.
Exactly.
Right? So you may not see great future. So then after about 10 years of discussion, then we thought that, okay, now is the time. So let's go to the demerger, restructuring rather. And then after repeated engagements with various bankers, tax consultants, and legal advisors and all that, we thought that we do a scheme of 2-step demerger. In the first step, what we did from Allcargo Logistics, we demerged the CFS business into a separate company called Allcargo Terminal. And all our real estate assets, which we had acquired over the years, like the land which is owned by the company and the office properties owned by the company, we moved that into a separate listed entity called Trans India Real Estate.
Right.
And the shareholding is, it's a mirror demerger. So everybody gets same number of shares
In
what
each
they
of
used
these
to have
companies.
in the main company. Now, we now have already 4 companies. One is Allcargo Logistics, then you have Allcargo Terminals, and then the Trans India Real Estate. The 4th company was Gati, which we had acquired,
Right.
but which is already a listed company, right?
So
So
well-known one also.
it's quite well known, yes. But that had also a lot of challenges.
Yes.
So then what we thought that why not we standardize our brand all under Allcargo brand, and once that demerger, first phase of demerger is done, then we went to the second part of the demerger. In the second part of the demerger, what we have done is from Allcargo Logistics, we moved out our international business into a separate entity called Allcargo Global Limited. And in Allcargo Logistics, we used to own Gati shares, and we had incubated this contract logistics business. And Allcargo Logistics now is left with only the India business, right? So the reason we thought that it should be in Allcargo Logistics, because Allcargo Logistics is already very well known in the Indian market.
Yes.
And we decided to merge Gati into that, right? And Gati had another subsidiary, so that also got merged. So now we have no subsidiary, direct shareholding by all shareholders in all of 4 companies. So there is no corporate holding. So I own my shares in all the 4 companies.
Right.
Same way, all the other shareholders.
There is no holding company.
There's no
in that
holding
sense,
company
right?
structure. It's straight away. So if you want to sell straight away, you sell in the market to investors or whatever. And it's also tax efficient. When you sell.
Are you comfortable with the valuations each of these is getting?
So this now just happened, and from the time we started this restructuring, the world is experienced one crisis after another.
Exactly, which is why I asked this question.
Exactly. So we started about 3-4 years ago, and
your businesses
yes
are at the thick of it.
thick of it.
Right.
All of them are in the thick
Absolutely.
of it. So starting with COVID, so we acquired Gati just before the COVID. Just before means that our first board meeting happened online.
Oh.
From so that is a kind of a coincidence that happened. And then you have COVID went on for 2 years, so that disrupted our domestic business and the Gati. So that affected a lot, because when there's a complete lockdown, then nothing was moving.
Absolutely.
So our business was shut for 3 months. And again, after 1 year, there's a second wave of COVID. Again, that got shut. So 3 months of shutting means our 2 years of profitability and
Just
revival
wiped out.
just wiped out. So then you had as soon as the COVID is over, you had this Russia-Ukraine war happened. That disrupted our international business quite a bit. The markets were at the peak. The market just collapsed.
Right.
Because of the inflation, because of government subsidies stopped. So, people started spending less. All that happened. So that business got affected. And then after that, you had the Middle East crisis, the Red Sea, the whole
Houthi crisis. Yeah.
Houthi, that one. And then after that, now you have the Israel war. Then happened the Iran war. And to make a further addition to all this, the Trump tariff. That also affected big time.
Complete, variable. You never know what's going to hit you next.
So last 5 years have been a real
so therefore
stressful time.
Yes. So therefore, Mr. Shetty, what I want to know,
Yes.
you said you're a risk taker.
Yes.
But these are things which are imponderables. You cannot ever foresee. These are a couple of them are. I mean, like COVID was almost a black swan event.
Yes.
And some of these wars are ongoing, continuing wars.
Yes.
Now, how does one deal with something like this, particularly when your business is almost entirely global? I mean, in nature, it's a global business. So, and you've got multiple offices, and this continues. I don't see, this now we talk to all the CEOs and owners of businesses. It's a very given fact that, this is now the new normal. You can never plan. Really, for the next 2-5 years or whatever. So how does one deal with it from your lens?
I think first of all, we have to always build an organization which is resilient. to
Mm.
any kind of a disruptions. I mean, that's very easy said and done.
Mm.
But how do you build resilience? You build resilience by a few things, right? The number one thing is it's kind of a business that you build, which is always needed,
Mm.
which never goes out of fashion.
Mm.
Like, for example, shipping and transportation is a business which is always remain, right? Secondly, you got to have very strong people and culture in the company, very driven people, very committed people,
Aligned with the vision.
aligned with the vision of the company. Number three, you got to have a very strong balance sheet. If you over leverage your balance sheet, these kind of times will definitely put you into trouble, right? So we are always been underprivileged, overcapitalized, right? That is the third. The fourth one, like I told you, we are the company. We have a global operating system. We continuously look at improve productivity. We always demand our people to do their best, and we constantly do, very good assessment of
And
people's
digitized and
performances.
tech.
Exactly. And build a system which creates a stickiness with the customer. So you're not easy to replace, right? So these kind of uniqueness that we
The
build.
other advantage may be now that the timing while one side the timing is all haywire because we have wars and stuff. But there's the other point is that this government is extremely focused on the logistics sector. The Prime Minister himself and the entire government mechanism is very focused on how to make logistics better and make it that is part of the ease of doing business. So that I think would help you, is helping.
I think we have not really taken so much advantage of that because we are already well established. Our business is uh, completely has to be in sync with the global trade growth,
Right.
right? And the GDP growth, right? So as long as whatever the policies are, as long as the trade is growing, as long as the consumption is increasing, our business will always
So the
remain.
FTAs would help.
FTAs would help a big
in
time.
a big way.
Absolutely. And
While there is Trump tariffs on the one hand,
yes,
the FTAs are
but
a
FTA is
big
yet to
yes. But once
come
they
into
do
play.
that will be a sort of tailwind
That
for
is
you.
number one. And since see, that also depends on which business we're talking about.
Right.
It will definitely help our domestic business. It will also help our, of course, international business from India
Yes.
to wherever it goes.
Right.
But our global business, India agreement will not have much.
Correct.
If the export grows, obviously our CFSs will benefit a lot, right? And also the domestic express business will also grow because cargo has to be brought from hinterland into the ports.
Yes.
So that will also should do well.
So overall, you would be bullish about the next, say, 2-3 years.
Absolutely.
Given the kind of
Absolutely. I think the
tailwinds.
only worry that we have is on the ongoing crisis in the world. So that is
And that's not going to go away anytime soon from the look of it.
Doesn't look like.
So that's something you'll have to sort of take
We'll have to
in your
deal with
stride.
that. We'll have to deal with that, and continue to keep the organization always highly motivated, young, and it has the capability to execute continuously because our business is a ongoing daily business, right? So you have to execute.
Absolutely.
Very highly demanding, highly
Yes.
service oriented, and
The
also
slightest of
Yes.
slippage here and there can cause
problems with
huge
the customer.
disruptions. Yes.
Customer can leave or customer can impose penalty. So it's a little bit of a high demand daily business. So yeah, and
Talking of keeping it young, I think now your son is now in the
Right.
business as BMD. I
Yes.
think so. Tell me, what did you tell him when you got him into the business?
No, son came 7 years ago.
Yes.
But I had many young people like my sons who are already in the company. So there is a good amount of nurturing the younger talent in the company, which is already in place. That is why our average age is still below 30.
Oh.
Yeah. So we generally are very, very focused on bringing young talent into the organization and developing them. I very proudly share that we all our offices in Asia, all the guys who joined us as young executive assistants or management trainees, they now are running countries. There are people running Singapore,
Wow.
Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, Hong
So they've
Kong.
risen from the
They risen
ranks.
from the ranks. So that also creates that momentum for an aspiration for people to join us and work and then grow.
And what is the mantra, leadership mantra you gave your son?
Yeah. First of all, we made sure that they behave well, right? And second, that they have great education. Both my children studied abroad. My daughter is now doing her MBA in Stanford University. They both never worked anywhere. My daughter worked as an intern in one Silicon Valley company after undergrad, and my son he never worked anywhere, so he stayed, came and joined here, and he's on my lens all the time, and he knows, and I used to keep him informed even when he was 15, 16, marking some of the emails and taking him to some of the
That early?
top level meetings. Yeah, very early, very early. Taking the meetings and then listen what the challenges are, what are the opportunities are, and how people behave, and what kind of questions people ask. He used to come with me for customer visits,
Okay.
and things like that. So
Tell me, as
yeah.
a corollary to that,
Yes.
I mean, since you started young and
Yes.
you love nurturing young talent,
Yes.
are you looking at, now that you are a large group across the country, you've learned all the lessons, entrepreneurship, and we always keep learning, so there's no end to
Correct.
learning.
Yes.
Are you looking at sort of incubating other startups or investing in startups from your side as a group, or even personally?
Yeah, we have, what we have done is we have invested in startup through some VC funds.
Yes.
And we've not done much direct investment because, like I told you, that we are so preoccupied with what we do on a day-to-day basis. That's one of the other reasons why we did this restructure is also to each company now has a separate managing director, different independent boards, and I'm not even chairman of in the two of the operating companies.
Okay.
So I'm trying to take out as much time as possible to see what more I can do. So to society, to life, to overall other passion what I have.
But it's too early to retire, no?
No, I'm not retiring. I'm not retiring, but I'm still an executive chairman in a way. I stopped drawing remuneration.
How?
So it's managed by the respective people, and I guide them. I review. I'm still involved in the business as much as I was earlier, but trying to distance as much as I can, so they get the freedom and they get the authority to run the business while we know what's happening, while we still influence the vision and the culture and the strategy and the financial discipline, which is very important, and also trying to influence. We have to be a very low cost organization.
Yes.
That's very, very important. A low cost business, low margin business. So we constantly look at how we can be more efficient.
One question one cannot help ask you in any conversation is the acquisition, and one acquisition which is very interesting, that of your residence.
Right. Sure.
So that is because you acquired Rajesh Khanna's residence, Ashirwad.
Correct.
So what prompted you to go into that?
That's something I
Right
think,
on the seaside of Tata Road.
Yeah. I think it's purely a destiny. I had invested in a property in South Mumbai, which ran into a lot of controversy, and that didn't yet not delivered. So we were wanting to move to a bigger house, so that didn't happen. So then my wife was very keen to have some good property in Bandra, and she also don't wanted to leave Bandra. So then, timing wise,
You're a hardcore Bandra boy.
I'm hardcore Bandra boy. She loves Bandra more than me now.
Okay.
Because Bandra is now getting more crowded.
Yes.
And I feel South Bombay will become central, because if you're somewhere in Worli, was my thinking, that is closer to South Bombay and also equal distance to the office.
Yes.
So in that sense, it would have been a little ideal for me, but that's okay. Now the sea link is getting built, so next 1 year later, we will have a
all be linked properly.
Yeah, that should be nice. So the property came into the market, and the markets are not that good. And they wanted to sell it. Akshay Kumar was leading the transaction for his wife and his sister-in-law. And then, my wife loved it, and he said, okay, let's give it a try, without realizing the consequences of building a home in Mumbai, not just buying the land.
Yes.
Then you have to do the whole
Whole thing. It
thing,
looks
right?
very different now. Of
It looks
course.
very different, yeah.
But
But
that was a bungalow, but you
Correct.
now it's a different.
That's it. We had to make a building, because if you had to get the perfect view, you had to
Yeah,
go
obviously.
You had to go
obviously.
up.
Today it's a different place.
Exactly. And the FSI was also there. So why lose it? So that's why.
That was one thing which also propelled you into the limelight in terms of the fact that you bought Rajesh Khanna's home. So much away from
That's
the
right.
business part.
I
of
have
it.
no connection to Bollywood whatsoever.
Absolutely.
By the way, I was a big fan of Rajesh Khanna. I used to know all his songs.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
right.
So
that is in a sense,
yes.
sort of full circle.
Also,
that you are
yeah,
now
absolutely.
in that place.
Yes.
So as we wind down into this from this conversation, Mr. Shetty, I want to know, who are your inspirations? I mean, you started young. You were this dreamy-eyed boy who came from Karnataka to Mumbai, and then set up this, sort of global logistics conglomerate. Who have been your biggest influences, and what is your personal leadership mantra?
Before I come to that, I also want to share something even more special for me, or same to me, is my surprise appointment as the chairman of Board of Governors of NITI.
Yes, IIM Mumbai now.
Now is IIM Mumbai.
Yes.
So I was appointed, to my biggest surprise, as a chairman by the government, and I just get a call from the Secretary of the Education Government of India that you've been appointed as the chairman of the committee. Are you willing to take it up? I said, I was taken aback. I thought maybe it is a hoax call. So anyway, then it turned out, and he sent a letter. Then I accepted it, and it was the middle of COVID. And then I looked at it. I engaged the director, and we realized there is so much of issues, because it was called National Institute of Industrial Engineering, and directly managed by the Ministry of Education. So there was a lot of delay, a lot of bureaucracy going back and forth, a lot of legal matters, a lot of internal issues, and all that. We have some 20 members in the board who are completely unrelated. So we had to clean up that board entirely.
That was a cleanup, yeah.
And so all that has happened, and we realized that such a beautiful campus in Mumbai, and Mumbai doesn't have an IIM, being the commercial capital of the country. So
do you think it will eventually give competition to IIM Ahmedabad?
100%.
100%. That smile says it all.
We are now investing 1,000 crore in creating the capacity 3 times. We are starting undergraduation school also. So we'll have a capacity of 4,500 students within the next 3-4 years. Yeah.
So you are in education as well, which is now the topic of heated debate and discussion. So this is your way of sort of...
No, but I must admit that there's a tremendous cooperation by the Ministry of Education to transform. I think there's a lot of good work that is happening by the Ministry of Education. Unfortunately, this is a very highly controversial and very sensitive matter. And I hope government will definitely find the best solution.
There have been steps which have been taken.
Solution. And I'm so happy to see some 47 people have been terminated. Mr. Nandan Nilinkani has been appointed. And there's a commitment by the Prime Minister that he will...
commitment,
This is fantastic. I'm really... See, in our country, unfortunately, most things happen when your back is against the wall. Right? Our reforms also happened when we were almost to go bankrupt.
Absolutely.
So many things we do not for the future, we do after a crisis. So many things we can do very proactively. So I'm sure that kind of a culture will come once most of the big items are resolved. So,
No, and definitely, and I am Mumbai, we will... Mumbaikars hope that it will become even more pristine as an institution.
Absolutely.
So I think
it is already considered the number 6 in the country as per NIF ranking.
It's a very, very
from where it was at 29 when I took over.
Absolutely.
So
it's
massive transformation.
And I think it was a good decision to make it an IIM.
Yes.
Because Mumbai needed an IIM, I think.
The students were so happy because they joined as a NITI and come out as IIM graduates. So the market already goes up significantly. And we have 100% placement, and the placement is over 97 CAT score. The director, Mr. Tiwari, is extremely passionate. He's enjoying the second term. My second term is going on right now.
So you are enjoying this role as well.
I'm
very much.
enjoying it very much. This is really impact. that
And
we
yeah,
make
this is
for
giving back
generations to
also.
come.
Yes,
That's
yes,
right.
absolutely.
And in any case, I'm very passionate for education. We just opened a school in Borivali, inaugurated by the Commerce Minister, Mr. Goyal. It's a IB and CBSE school with a capacity of 3,500 students. Fantastic school, very beautifully done. So I'm very engaged in many of such initiatives.
So what is your message to the younger people who come like young Shashi Kiran Shetty, who come with dreams in their eyes and want to become entrepreneurs?
Yeah.
What's your basic advice to them?
I think the number one everybody says hard work, sincere work, resilience, kind of put the always be on top of risk, try to see what can go wrong, financial discipline, integrity. These are very critical. I mean, if you look at case study of companies who go bankrupt, normally these are the rules. If you
Problems,
don't
yes. These are the
follow,
things they violate, yes.
yeah, that's where companies get into trouble, right? Of course, there are businesses which get disrupted.
Yes.
That's a different story.
That is a business problem.
Business problem. Exactly. So
Ecosystem,
internally, what is
business
controllable
problem.
is, these are the things you can control. So, and this largely ensures sustainability and value creation.
On that note, Mr. Shetty, thank you so much for speaking to us so openly, and it's so much to take away from this conversation.
Thank you so much.